What is up, ladies and gentlemen, listeners of the Didn't Ask podcast? Welcome back to another episode. A very special one, an episode I've been looking forward to for quite a little while. And it's episode 50. Come on, come on. Welcome to episode 50. Again, I have said this in the lead up to this podcast. I wasn't really expecting to ever hit episode 50. Man, so it's crazy that we're actually here right now. And I have said in the past that episode 50 was going to be a special episode. And ladies and gentlemen, it certainly is going to be. This episode will be an episode consisting out of all Am I the Asshole subreddit questions. So no Ask Reddit because I thought that, hey, I've been using Am I the Asshole, the subreddit, for a little while, but every week I only pick one question. So there are a lot of questions that go unanswered. So, I thought, man, episode 50 is the best episode to say, hey, let's divert from our usual topics. Let's divert from our usual way of thinking and just dive into the Am I the Asshole subreddit for the whole episode. So I got 5 questions. It's technically a little less than normal because normally I would do 5 questions from the Ask Reddit and then 1 question from the Am I the Asshole. But I think that these questions should be very entertaining because some of them are pretty long. So yeah, let's jump into the first question. And most of these are throwaway accounts, but I'm still gonna say their username because they deserve the respect or disrespect if you see so fit. Let's jump into the first question asked by user throwaway birthday x96, and I ask, am I the asshole for not wanting to celebrate my mom on my birthday? I have 3 siblings between the ages of 10 and 18. I'm the oldest fourth at 25. Every year, on every single one of our birthday, we're expected to celebrate my mom as well. We've done it since we were little. It was taught to me as giving thanks for carrying plus giving birth to us, which I'm all for. I am grateful as we wouldn't be here without her. The issue is, though, it becomes less of our birthday and more of an anniversary for the day our mom gave birth. Every year on our birthday, our mom gets gifts too. As she gets older, we're now expected to get her monetary gifts and not cards or homemade stuff. Just recently was my birthday and I was gifted some much needed clothes and dishware for my new apartment. My dad, however, got my mom a new MacBook. My siblings all got her gifts too. My youngest brother isn't expected to give much, but my 16-year-old sister and 18-year-old second brother work, so they are expected to give gifts too. My sister pulled me aside before my birthday and said she was sorry she couldn't get me much. She got me a sweater, I love it, and that she wanted to get me more, but our mom was pressuring her to get her a certain necklace for my mom. Apparently, my mom had been dropping hints for months, and my sister was worried our mom would be upset and feel underappreciated if she didn't get it. I asked how much it was, and my sister said it was $300. I honestly lost it on our mom and chewed into her later that afternoon when my mom opened her gifts after me. I think she's ridiculous for even wanting my sister to spend so much money on a gift. My mom started crying and my dad kicked me out. Mom won't answer calls, but my aunt, mom's sister, called and said I was a piece of shit for not respecting my mother and that I'm selfish, narcissistic child for being jealous of the gifts my mom got. I thought I was in the right, but now I don't know. It's been over 3 weeks and mom won't answer my calls. She has been posting on Facebook inspirational quotes about letting go of the toxicity in your life, how blood doesn't equal family, and how hard it is to be a mother. Several family members, aunt, grandma, uncle, and 2 of my cousins are replying to the post and are very obviously directing fake comments at me about being a horrible daughter. I don't know what to think now because of my many people are on her side. Am I the asshole? And I can tell you this throwaway birthday. No, you're not the asshole. I think it is a very good thing to, start questioning this, because again, I see what you're saying. Like, it's you're appreciating your mom for giving birth to you. I think that is a very cool concept to think about. But now that you're getting older, I feel like that has less of a merit, just as it is. And then when she starts asking for monetary gifts that are quite expensive, then I'm just like, yeah, no, I feel like you're in the right questioning what the fuck is going on with this. And again, $300 for a necklace, that's a lot of money. Like, if I had a girlfriend, I probably wouldn't even spend so much money on a gift for her. Like, $300 that's a shit ton of money, especially for your 16-year-old sister. Like, she is 16. I get that she has a job, but I don't think she's making that much money, especially in the United States. So your sister basically spent her monthly salary on a gift for your mom, and that, I feel like that's absolutely outrageous. So yeah, I feel like, do we have to show your mom a little bit more respect on, the kids' birthdays? Maybe, because yeah, she did put you on this planet, but I feel like there is a certain level that you can go. And again, as a kid, I think it's fun to be like, hey, my mom, put me on this planet, let me make her a card and give her a bag of candies or whatever, because that's cute. But when your mom really starts basically demanding gifts that are $300 for not even her birthday, not even Mother's Day, for your birthday, that's just absolutely fucking outrageous. So going to your question, throwaway birthday X96, am I the asshole for not wanting to celebrate my mom on my birthday? No, you're absolutely not the asshole. I would say that you did everything that was in your eyes right, and I would say that you are right by at least questioning what the situation is about, and that, hey, we've been doing this shit for 25 years now, and maybe it's time to cut it when the youngest sibling is like 18 or whatever, so that, or for the people that are 18, so that, we're not spending like thousands of dollars on your mom. And again, I feel like your mom may have earned that, but still, I feel like demanding such a big gift is a bit outrageous. So thank you for your question, throwaway birthday. Moving on to the second Am I the Asshole question for today. This one coming from Throw Ra Issue Ra. And they said, Am I the asshole for refusing to sign anything while my eyes are blindfolded? Ever since I got out of the hospital for chronic problems, my husband has been introducing me to some games every evening. One game used to be about doing things while my eyes are blindfolded, involving puzzles, Rubik's Cube, I think they mean Rubik's Cube, shaped objects, etc. We'd take turns to do it just for entertainment. Just a couple days ago, he's been trying to get me to sign papers while wearing a blindfold. I refuse to do it because he never lets me take a look at what I'm signing, neither before or after. He says that he was trying to see if I could leave the same signature every time I sign, but I couldn't help feel uncomfortable. I told him I don't want to play this game unless and until he shows me the paper first. He said, never mind then, and stopped bringing it up. Last night, he tried to convince me to give it a try and even volunteered to go first. I asked if he was going to show me what I was going to sign and made a face and said, no, it's the rules and I should respect them. I refused and kept on about how I keep acting worried and suspicious for no reason. He said I clearly don't trust him, and he was hurt by finding out now after everything we've been through. We had an argument, and I told him to drop it and to not bring it up again, period. He was mad despite saying it was no big deal. He was obviously upset with me and kept talking about how I don't trust him and that I was out of line to assume or suspect anything from him like this. I might be paranoid, but I couldn't help it. I do think I was tied to him after he stood by my side when my family didn't even visit. Am I the asshole? Throw raw issues raw. I don't think you're the asshole at all. This is a weird situation that basically doesn't really have a clear answer. Like, yeah, I think you're completely in the right questioning what you are signing. Like, why is this such an important thing to you that you bring it up so many times? So yeah, I totally don't think that you are in the wrong for questioning. At least questioning like what is going on? Like why are you doing this? Why do I have to sign things with my signature? Could you do this same thing without signing a signature? Like could I make a monkey or a pig or whatever the fuck? Like what is so so specific? Why do you need the signature? That's the thing that I'm questioning as well. So no, you're completely not the asshole. It's fucking weird that your husband has been asking for you to sign your signature and then do that blindfolded. That's just fucking weird. So throw raw issues raw. Am I the asshole for refusing to sign anything while my eyes are blindfolded? No, of course not. You're absolutely not the asshole in that. Thank you for your question. Moving on to the third Am I the Asshole question for today. This one was asked by user Eric Throw 3976 and they ask, Am I the asshole for refusing to pay the babysitter for new glasses after my daughter broke her old ones? I preface this by saying that I, 35 male, am a widower with 2 children, 9 and 11. I recently got back to work and since I work night shift, I had to get the kids a babysitter. They are at school during the day and my sister stays with them. I was able to find a babysitter with the help of a coworker. Actually, they're related. And things have been going pretty well, except for a few days ago. My babysitter called me while I was at work to tell me that my 9-year-old daughter broke her glasses. I got home, heard both sides of the story, and came to a conclusion that it was in fact an accident, but the babysitter had said my daughter broke them intentionally after she refused to let her outside late in the evening. I asked my 11-year-old daughter and she said that the babysitter's story is accurate, but since she and her sister have beef then, I figured she lied to set her sister up. My 9-year-old daughter cried and said that she didn't mean it and it was an accident. I apologized to the babysitter for the misunderstanding, but she insisted that there was no misunderstanding and then asked me to pay for a new pair of glasses. I was taken aback by her request and I told her I thought we talked this out and rolled it out as an accident, but she insisted that it wasn't an accident. I apologized but refused and said it was unfair to expect me to pay, especially since she didn't pay attention to keep her glasses safe regardless of whether it was an accident or not. The babysitter argued with me, then started crying, swearing that my daughter broke them to get back at her. My 11-year-old daughter sided with her, but my 9-year-old said that she was only siding with the babysitter for her own benefit. The girls started fighting and I ended up telling the babysitter to leave. She got my coworker involved and she said that I should take responsibility and pay the babysitter for her new glasses, since she cannot afford them being a broke college student and is in need for glasses. I apologized but refused to pay. My coworker got upset and shamed me for condoning my younger daughter's actions and treating the babysitter poorly when she's the victim of the situation. It's been days and the babysitter is still wanting me to pay for her new glasses, but I feel like she's trying to use the fact that I'm in dire need of help and is hoping to get extra money out of my pocket. Am I the asshole? Eric, yes, you are the asshole. You have a babysitter that you seemingly trust with your 9 and 11-year-old children, babysit them, and then tell you that one of your daughters broke the glasses on purpose. It wasn't an accident, like the babysitter is saying, like it wasn't an accident. She did it on purpose. And then you have your 11-year-old basically repeating the same story. they recite the same story by saying like, "Hey, no, the 9-year-old wanted to go outside and she couldn't because it was late, so she broke the glasses." So you have two people saying the story, yet you decide to go with the 9-year-old. And then in the end of your question, you're saying that you think that this girl is swindling you out of more money? Dude, she could have done that with anything. Like, she needs her glasses. Honestly, like, the best thing you could have done is say that, oh, here's my phone, and then smash it on the floor, and then be like, hey, I need a new phone. You can get more money out of it that way. Personally, yeah, I feel like you're the asshole for not wanting to even, take into consideration that your daughter might be the issue here, that she might be the person that brought this all to light. But I feel like, yeah, you just gotta have to pay, or at least pay a part of it, even if it was an accident. Like, I have had accidents in the past too, where I had to pay or people paid in my name. Like, it's not that weird. And if you have a good insurance, you might be able to just put it on the insurance and be like, hey, the babysitter's glasses broke, it's my fault, yada yada yada, and then you get the money for new glasses and it's all fine. So, going back to your question, Eric Throw 3976, am I the asshole for refusing to pay the babysitter for new glasses after my daughter broke her old ones? Yes, you are. Because, like you're saying in the question, your daughter broke the glasses. It doesn't matter if it's an accident, yes or no. You just gotta at least pay a small bit of it, especially since the girl doesn't have that much money of her own, being a broke college student. And again, if she wants to get money, she can do it in many other ways, and many easier ways, I would say. So just talk to the girl and pay her some money. Thanks for your question, anyways. Moving on to the fourth question of today. Again, coming from the Am I the Asshole subreddit, like all of these questions have been, coming from user throwaway job 49, and they ask, am I the asshole for being upset with my son for finding a job without telling me? My son is 18. He's going to be attending community college and is living with me, my husband, and two younger half sisters. The other day, I found out that he found and accepted a job without telling me. I was upset with him about it, and the reason for that is that, first of all, he should have told me we live in the same house, and also, and more importantly now, I'm left without someone to stay with the girls from 3 to 8, where my shift starts and ends. My son is usually the one to stay home with the girls, and his new job is during these hours, so one way or another, we are impacted. He told me his friend found him his job, and it just happened. But I don't think it did, because he knew he had to give up staying with his sisters while I work. My husband travels most of the time, he's a pilot, and paid childcare is a no for me. My son said I shouldn't be surprised by him trying to work to save money to be able to pay for himself, but that is just absurd since he literally lives with us without having to pay for anything except for his own entertainment. He said he needed a job and he wasn't realistically going to stay and watch his sisters for days on end, especially since he doesn't get paid for it. We kept arguing, and my husband got involved, and he too was upset, saying that my son had no respect for us. My son basically had a like it or not attitude with us and kept refusing to discuss this with us, saying we had no right to be upset with him and should just accept it. But I think he's just being inconsiderate of my husband and I's struggle to provide for my family as a whole. This should mean something to him, but he acted selfish. Am I the asshole? Well, I think you are slightly the asshole here. I get that you are immediately like put in a weird situation where, hey, you have basically like a babysitter that's there all the time, but you have to realize that your son is 18 now. He is going to community college, which is a big step, and that means that he's gonna roll in different circles. You cannot expect this kid to watch your children for years and years and years, even when he is fucking 24 or 25. He's going to college, which means that his whole life is going to change in many ways. Not only is he going to get more knowledge, but he's also going to get more friends, and he might want to do things with his friends, and that's why he needs the money, and that's why he's taking this job. So the easy answer to this whole thing would be you pay your son to watch his sisters or his half sisters. That is, in my opinion, the only way for you to be fair to him so that he can pay for his own shit, but also have somebody watching your kid. And you're saying that your husband is a pilot, but you guys have trouble providing for the family? Like, I'm sorry, but as far as I know, pilots are very well paid people. I don't know what type of pilot he is, but if he is traveling a lot and he is an actual pilot, I feel like he should be making a whole bunch of money. And you are working too. So that means that you have two people that will provide money and still you have trouble providing for your family. Like, again, I'm not saying that it's not a possibility, but I feel like there is something going on here where you should maybe look at your finances a little bit deeper because maybe things are going on in your situation. So, yeah, going back to the question, as by throwaway job 49, am I the asshole for being upset with my son for finding a job without telling me? And I would say, yeah, your son just has hit an age where he wants to be his own man. He wants to have his own shit. He doesn't want to watch his sisters all the time. And by getting a job, that is the only way for him to do this. And since you're not paying for him to watch his half sisters, why the fuck would he be there? It seems like the worst case scenario where, first off, he doesn't have any social contacts, and second off, he has to spend this whole free time with his sisters. That's just not fun. So think about that throwaway job, and maybe you can figure this out. Thank you for your question. Now, the final question for today, coming from user throw_dad7755, and they ask, am I the asshole for refusing to walk my daughter down the aisle? I, a 49-year-old male, have two daughters, Mary, 27, and Julie, 23. For context, Julie is not my biological daughter since I married my current wife when she was only 2, and since her dad was absent, I adopted her as my own, but I love my daughters the same. This being said, I am closer to Julie since she has and still lives with us, and we do almost everything together. Instead, Mary is closer to her mom, mainly because her mom got full custody of her and has never lived with me. Now, to the main issue. Julie got engaged about a year ago and immediately asked me to walk her down the aisle. I, of course, agreed and helped her actively with the planning of the wedding, which is scheduled to take place in October 2022. A couple of weeks ago, Mary asked me to go grab some coffee with her and let me know she's currently pregnant and will soon get married. To be honest, to me, this caught me off guard, since I didn't even know she had a boyfriend. She apparently will have a quiet and fast wedding since she doesn't want to show too much, meaning her wedding will be in 3 months. She says it'll be a small ceremony and asked me to walk her down the aisle. I felt weird about it since I don't even know her fiance and it's all so sudden, so I asked her to let me think about it. It seemed like the answer surprised her, but she understood. I then went home and let my wife and daughter know, and Julie asked me to please decline, since she wanted to be the first to be walked down the aisle. And since she asked first, thinks that I have a stronger commitment to her. I agreed, since this is more of an us thing rather than an afterthought like Mary's wedding. I then sent a message to Mary letting her know of my decision with a brief explanation and even offered options like her mom or stepdad to walk her down the aisle. I also reassured her that I'd be with her and support her with anything. She almost immediately called me crying, telling me how much of a horrible father I am and how I apparently have always played favorites, which hurt me since it's simply not true. I love them both. I tried to explain my reasoning, but she said it doesn't matter and doesn't care about my excuses. She ended up hanging up, and my ex has been sending me tons of texts, berating me and calling me names. Now, word has spread to some family members, and they are calling me a deadbeat and trash. But my wife and daughter agree that my decision is the only fair one and shouldn't be pressured into doing something I don't want. I'm starting to feel guilty, but I'm honestly unsure. Am I the asshole for refusing to walk my daughter down the aisle? I would say, yeah, you're a bit of an asshole here, throwaway dad. You're saying in your message that you have two daughters, one is blood related, one is adoptive, and you say that you love them both the same, which seemingly that isn't very true if you read your own story, because you're saying that you basically don't have a relationship with your biological daughter because your ex-wife and her mom got full custody, which it seemingly seems that you basically didn't talk to your daughter since the divorce. And again, you like you're saying again that you didn't even know she had a boyfriend and now she's pregnant and is getting married. So what she wanted to do is she wanted to have her dad there to be her rock, to be there for her. But seemingly you don't want to be. And her saying that you play favorites and you denying it is a bit harsh as well because you are playing favorites. Your actual daughter is getting married and asks you to be the person to walk her down the aisle. And she did this deliberately. She wanted you to do this, and therefore she asked. And you immediately said, fuck no, because your other daughter has a wedding too, and she asked first. To me, that is not really a good reasoning. So for me, it seems that, yeah, you are a bit of a absent father for your own daughter, seemingly out of this story. And so your daughter was just like, hey, what is a better moment to get back with my dad and talk to him and involve him in my life more than having him walk me down the aisle? And then you denied that. And again, for a reason I personally do not agree with, because like your older daughter is saying, you're clearly playing favorites because it's not that both of your daughters had a wedding at the same time at the same place or at different places or whatever, and you had to pick like, oh, I can walk Julie down the aisle or I can walk Marie down the aisle. Seemingly, Julie's wedding is in October and Marie's wedding is in a couple months, weeks, I don't know. Like there is enough time for you to do both. So I feel like yeah, I feel like you're a bit of the asshole for like let me put it differently. Are you an asshole to decline your daughter walking down the aisle? Not necessarily. I feel like this situation does make you the asshole though. It's a really hard situation to explain to you, but I would say yeah, you're the asshole because you have one blood related daughter that asks you to walk her down the aisle and you deny it. And that and personally that is that cuts deep, especially since it seems that you don't have a real good relationship with that daughter. So to me, she just wanted you to be at the wedding and walk her down the aisle so that you can have a bond again. But you clearly denied that opportunity immediately, which leaves her without a real father. So I would say throwaway dad 7755. Am I the asshole for refusing to walk my daughter down the aisle? And I would say, yeah, you're a bit of an asshole in this. So I hope you figure this out, and I hope you talk to your daughter, because I think it's very sad for her. Thank you for your question, though. And that was it for episode 50 of the Didn't Ask podcast. I hope you had a good time listening to this right here podcast. If you did, please leave a rating on Apple Podcast, on Spotify. Both places now have the ability for you to rate this podcast. If you do, I might read your review out in the next episode after I see it. If you want to know where this podcast is available, you can go to anchor.fm/didn't-ask-but. Over here, you can find all the links to all your favorite podcast servers around the world. What you can also find here is a box that says message, and if you press that, you get the ability to record a voice message for me so I can play that on this right here episode, and I can answer your question after that. If you don't want your voice to be heard on the podcast, I can completely understand. Just say it up front in your message, then I will just read your question out myself and still give you the answer you're all looking for. I will be back next week, and in the meantime, you can see what I'm watching thanks to Trek.tv. That link will be in the show description, like all the previous links I've mentioned before. Over here, you can see all the TV shows and movies I'm watching, sometimes even at the time I'm watching them, so you can see and keep up with me, and maybe even ask me a question about those. That will be fun. Well, that's enough for me for today. I hope to see you back next week. I hope you have a good time, and I see you back next time. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.